want to talk about this topic, but we have to talk about it. Josh is laughing because he knows what I'm going to get to. It's that time of the show where me and Josh argue about wrestling. So WrestleMania 43 is going to be not in North America. It's not going to be in the United States. It's not going to be in Canada. It's going to feature The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and probably, and I'm being honest with you, John Cena. I don't think he's retired in December. I think he's retiring here based on how much money the Saudi Arabians are probably going to pay him. WrestleMania 43 is going to Saudi Arabia, and this is where I also will add and predict the Saudis are going to announce they will buy TKO and own not only WWE but the UFC by the time we get to WrestleMania 43.
It would not surprise me. I was looking at the live comments during the live stream.
It was not good. Let me say that.
No, and there were a ton of comments that simply said 3 letters. AEW.
Well, there was also a comment that said 3 words. You sold out.
Which they did. They did. Because the Royal Rumble is going to be in Saudi Arabia, and now WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia.
And I guarantee you, especially on the women's side, there is not going to be a lot of surprises in the 2026 Royal Rumble, which I'll be honest, the roster's deep enough. They don't really need a ton of surprises, but it's always nice to have. I'll be honest with you. I think this is wrong. I don't like it. I knew it was coming. Everybody knew it was coming. So this announcement to me, like, I was like, hey, you know what? They're going to get their money. It's going to be a good show. We're going to get The Rock versus Roman Reigns. The only thing I really care about. And it is what it is. I think the bigger problem after everything that's been reported in the wrestling industry this past week is the fact that TKO not only took this deal for going to Saudi Arabia for WrestleMania, but they basically came out and said, yeah, you fans that spend your hard-earned money to go to these live events like Raw and SmackDown and NXT and PLEs, yeah, guess what? Vince McMahon cared about you, but we don't. And we're going to be jacking prices through the roof, and we don't care because fans are still buying them. And, you know, I told you this before, they technically do have the right to, because the gold package right now for WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas is $37,000. And that same ticket for WrestleMania 41 in the same arena was $16,000. So an increase of $21,000, and people are going to pay them because as much as you and I disagree on this, people do pay to go see WWE because clearly they're doing something right because every single building is sold out. So they're going to keep charging it because people are going. I mean, let's just face it.
Yes, I'm looking on Ticketmaster right now. The least expensive ticket I can find for WrestlePalooza, $130.
I was going to go more. I was going to go like $500. I'm being completely honest with you. So, you know, TKO is doing their thing. They're going to make more profit. They're going to sell it to the Saudis. And that's my real worry. I honestly don't care about the Saudi Arabia government and the involvement. They can go over Saudi all they want. I will say I'm not angry at the fans over there. I think that as WWE has gone over there more, the fans have gotten more lively for the shows, especially than the first couple ones they did, which were disasters. But these Saudi shows have turned from glorified house shows to really big events, and the crowd is into it more than American crowds. I hate to say that, but it is true.
Yeah. They're probably going to start doing like SummerSlam over there. They'll probably, I think they did Elimination Chamber over there.
They did in 2022. I don't mind the earlier start PLEs. I am not going to mind a WrestleMania or a Royal Rumble during the day. I don't mind the fact they're going over there personally. What I do mind the fact is Saudi doesn't want the current product. They want guys like The Undertaker to come out of retirement and wrestle. That's my problem.
Yep. So have fun with that.
Well, listen, there are going to be some dream matches I think we get out of this. Like, here's the thing. I am personally excited about WrestleMania 43 in Saudi because I think it could be the most stacked card in the history of WWE. The Rock and Roman Reigns, The Undertaker versus Gunther, Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles or Seth Rollins, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk. Those are just four names I have, and we haven't even got to Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, anybody on the women's side.
Hopefully Kevin Owens is healthy by then.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Kevin Owens. So listen, here's the thing though, and this is what I'm trying to explain to everybody. The internet can backlash all they want. They can comment AEW. They can comment you sold out. Everybody can be outraged on Twitter all they want. It's not real life, because real life is reaction, ticket sales, fans, people talking about it in the community. The internet, for as how many people are on Twitter and YouTube, it's only 20% of the world. And that's why the Netflix deal was such a big deal. And I don't think WWE cares about to be honest with you, the microscopic real backlash that is on social media.
Yeah, they honestly don't. They're going to continue doing what they're doing. I'm a little bit surprised that, again, we talked about this earlier. I'm surprised they're going with the ESPN route in terms of PLEs because of the fact that, like, I know what I'm trying to say, that Raw is on Netflix. We've seen, Dana White we've seen two major boxing events now, Canelo versus Crawford, and I forget Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Tyson versus Jake Paul, yep.
Both be on Netflix. By the way, I watched Canelo versus Crawford.
Did you? I totally forgot about it. It was completely real.
So I ended up staying up till 2 a.m. to watch it. I thought it was a fantastic card from top to bottom. But I'm surprised that WWE is not putting their PLEs on Netflix. I'm actually surprised UFC went with CBS and didn't go with the Netflix route as well. Because Dana White, along with the Saudis, they did this Canelo versus Crawford card on Netflix. So that's
And here's the thing. This is why I'm not outraged over it, even though I don't like it. As sports fans, we have to get used to this. Golf is already over in Saudi. As a UFC fan, they have gone over to Riyadh. And the NFL, with this flag football thing that we talked about very early in the show with Tom Brady and Saquon Barkley and a few other athletes, are going to be going over there in March. Saudi Arabia is planning to take over the world, and they have the money to do it.
Yeah. But you know what the big topic is. WrestlePalooza.
This Saturday.
Bring it.
I
will stay all out all day, every day over this card that you're giving me for WrestlePalooza.
Well, WrestlePalooza has about the 5 biggest stars in the industry on it, and you can't argue with that. I mean, you're trying to tell me last week you were trying to tell me Swerve Strickland's a big star. Nobody on the street knows who Swerve Strickland is.
Unfortunately, he's out for a while. So is Will Ospreay. So is Kenny Omega. But AEW is going to be just fine.
Well, are they? Tony Khan did do the smart thing. You were shocked, by the way. You said, I don't think he's going to move this show to the middle of the afternoon. Guess what? He did.
Yeah. And by the way, WWE has already said they're going to counter program the F.
Now, I don't like it. I think it's petty. I've admitted this. I told you this. I think it's wrong. They're going to get to a point. I read a report the other day. They're already talking about 2026, how they're going to counter AEW, and they're going to try to make it impossible for AEW to move their showtime. I'm like, how the hell are they going to do that?
I know. But man, I look at this All Out card and I'm like, I'm getting Hangman versus Kyle Fletcher for the AEW Championship. I'm getting Okada versus Takeshita, versus either the Beast Mortos or some other luchador. I don't remember, in a triple threat. That's going to be fantastic. Mostly because of the Okada Takeshita factor. They've been teasing that Takeshita is going to go babyface for a while, and we're going to get that feud eventually between Okada and Takeshita. We're getting a ladders match for the tag team championship chips. We don't know the teams yet other than Brodito. We're getting qualifying matches on Dynamite to determine those. We're getting a tables and tax match. No, what was it? I forget. Tax and something match between Mark Briscoe and MJF. I forget what the title is. A coffin match between Darby Allin and Jon Moxley. Now with the added element that Daniel Garcia has joined the Death Riders. A fatal four-way. Tony Storm versus Chris Statlander versus Tekla versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship, which Tony Storm is the one who made that match. The only match I'm not interested in is Mercedes Moné versus Riho for the TBS Championship. Whatever.
Oh, but she has 9 belts. She's the biggest star in the industry.
Eddie Kingston's making his return. He's taking on Big Bill. We're getting a trios match. Gates of Agony and Ricochet versus the Hurt Syndicate. What is it? Shelton Benjamin, Bobby Lashley, and MVP. And, of course, the big tag team match, FTR versus Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. I cannot wait for this show. It is going to be absolutely amazing. The word of the day for this show is going to be violence. And I'm here for it.
So there's no point in us arguing who's going to have the better show, because we're just going to argue in a vicious circle. Because you like AEW style, I like WWE style. Like, I don't even want to get into it because it's just the truth, right? Some people like AEW, some people like WWE. I think the logistics are what is the more important thing to talk about this show. And what I mean by that is, we know how petty WWE has been about AEW. They're going to want to create headlines with their show that gets the whole wrestling world talking. They're going to want to have the last laugh. So does somebody big return? Does somebody turn heel? Is there an angle that goes down? Like something like a Brock Lesnar return, or like that we had at SummerSlam. Something is going to happen because WWE wants the headlines. The other thing is, now on the AEW side is this. So this show starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. WrestlePalooza starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. How long? Because AEW pay-per-views at bare minimum go 4 hours. I believe
it's always great.
I believe,
because you get actual matches. You don't get, oh, here's a match and then video package.
Well, you also get 12 matches versus 5. It's quality over quantity.
Yes, except the 12 matches are usually fantastic.
Well, again, that comes down to the style of wrestling. My question is, how long is this All Out going to go? Is it going to be a 6-hour show? Is it going to end at 9 p.m. Eastern? Is it going to bleed into WrestlePalooza? This is also the first show AEW is doing as a part of HBO Max. But the difference with that is, even if you have HBO Max, you still have to pay an additional $30 for the pay-per-view. If Tony Khan was smart, he would have said, if you sign up for HBO Max, you get this pay-per-view for free.
Yeah, I agree with you. And hopefully Tony Khan will do that at some point. I love that they're not doing All Out in Chicago this year, because that's where it's been basically since its inception.
Now that would have been something. You know what I would have loved to see? AEW runs a Chicago PLE in the United Center. WWE runs a PLE in Chicago, same night, same time, in All-State Arena. That's what we need. The hottest hotbed wrestling city in the U.S. is Chicago. We know that. Let them fight it out. That's what the wrestling world wants to see.
Well, AEW did All Out 2023 in the United Center, but that was the time where, well, CM Punk got fired.
your favorite wrestler, who is,
by the way,
with his wife this weekend, who, by the way, CM Punk is now known as AJ Lee's husband.
WrestlePalooza, I'm like shitting on it, but it actually looks like a good card. I'm not gonna lie.
You just said it was a shit card.
Okay, that was me like bantering a little bit. That was like, I'm way more of an AEW fan. But to be real for a second, like the card for WrestlePalooza, I wouldn't give it an A. I'd give it like a B plus or like a B minus. Is there a match where I'm like, oh my God, I have to see that? For me, the match that kind of fits that, even though the title isn't going to change hands, I would say is Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, because I think there could be a post-match angle here with a certain GOAT who goes by the three most destructive letters in all of sports entertainment, RKO. Does he come out after the match and like absolutely snap and just...
There's potential to it. I don't think they're going to do it here. Like, I think the bigger storyline out of this that's going to be the talking point is, I think Brock Lesnar is going to absolutely murder John Cena. I think there's going to be blood. I think Cena is going to walk away on a stretcher, because I think because of the fact that Cena does not appear again until Crown Jewel, that's how you set up the rematch with Cena returning against Lesnar at Crown Jewel. But absolutely something could happen. Randy Orton could turn heel. I think there's a scenario Jey Uso turns heel on Jimmy. There's going to be something that comes out of this PLE, because, as I already said, they want the talking points over AEW.
Yes. And like I said, when I was saying the card looks shitty and all that, that was just me like bantering and all that. Like, honestly, WrestlePalooza looks like a decent card, although that's such a weird name. Like, it doesn't...
Well, do you know it is an old name? They just didn't make it up. It's an old ECW paper.
No, I know that it's like they didn't just make it up, but still, like, when Brock Lesnar goes, "I'll see you at WrestlePalooza," that doesn't sound like, oh my God, it's going to be a hard-hitting...
The weird thing, it sounds like they want to make it like a Big 5 PLE now.
Really?
Did you hear that? Yeah, they want it on the same level as like Survivor Series, which is why they're pushing it so hard.
I guess that's why they're putting it...
And that may be because All Out, like right next to Double or Nothing, is AEW's first or second PLE of the year. I still kind of think Double or Nothing is like their WrestleMania because it was their first. You can tell me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah. But, well, All In kind of is that, because that was...
Okay.
Like, All In is more so. Like, that's why it's been at Wembley. That's why...
But Double or Nothing used to be before All In was a thing.
All In was like before AEW was legit a thing.
Yeah, I know. All In was the 2018 show that Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks put on.
Yes. Double or Nothing was the first pay-per-view, correct. That's where John Moxley showed up.
I remember watching that. I remember watching Cody and Dustin Rhodes and thinking, oh my God, and look at my tweet from 2019. I said, oh my God, I think this AEW thing is actually going to work. And then since Cody Rhodes left, it hasn't been the same in my opinion.
Well, I've loved it. We're coming up on our 6-year anniversary.
Our listen to you. We're going up on our 6-year anniversary.
Hey, with this wrestling war, you and I have taken our sides.
Well, you're bringing a gun to a knife fight, my friend.
Hey, don't underestimate knife.